Okay, is there any GCF that you can take out of here? No GCF. So let's break this down. This could be 1 and 18, 2 and 9, or 3 and 6. 10 could break down to be 1 and 10, or 2 and 5. If you're not too great on your math facts, this is the unit that you're going to need to kind of step them up. Make sure you're understanding them here. Alright, so we're going to pick, guess and check. For the front, do you want to pick 1 and 18, 2 and 9, or 3 and 6? 1 and 18? 1 and 18? Okay. Then should I pick 1 and 10 or 2 and 5?
I guess the first one.
2 and 5? Okay, should we try, where do we want to try this? Like a 2 and a 5?
Yeah.
Okay, if you check these, that gives us 30/60. And that gives us 5C. But what about our signs? What do our signs have to be? 1 positive, 1 negative. Can I get 41 with 1 positive, 1 negative?
No.
So I see where you were going with this, but it doesn't work because you can't work it with the signs. Okay? That does not mean that this answer is prime. It means you have to check again. Okay? So we know it can't be 1 and 18 with this arrangement of 2 and 5. Do I want to just switch the 2 and 5? Do you want to try a different one, or do you want to try different front numbers? Do we want to try different front numbers? Okay, so we have to check again. What numbers do you want to pick this time? I heard a 3 and a 6. And sometimes you will just guess wrong to start with, and that's okay. You just have to start over. Okay? So let's pick 2 and 5. You know the 2 could not go in here because then there would have been a GCF. So hopefully that helps a little bit. If we multiply these together, we'd get 12C and 15C. Is that in any possibility going to give me? Nope, that one's not going to work. Okay, do you want to switch just the front, or you want to switch the backs? Do what? 1 and 10 in the back?
What are we doing in the front?
What are you doing in the front?
2 and 9?
You want 2 and 9? Okay. 2 and 9. Okay, if you kind of do that in your head, you're going to get 9 and a 20. Anyone have this one yet? 2 and 5 in here. And 9 and 2. Ooh, does that one work? 45C and a 4C. And I'm going to get a positive 41, so that means your inside one would be positive, the outside is negative. Okay, so some of these you just have to guess and check. You have to just see what's going to work. Sometimes you'll guess really quickly. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and that's okay. Okay, let's try another one for number 6. 9k squared plus 30km plus 25m squared. 9k squared plus 30km plus 25m squared. Okay, is there any GCF you could take out? No. So this could be 1 and 9 or 3 and 3. In the back you could have 1 and 25 or 5 and 5. Does anyone recognize the front and the back number as anything special? They're both squares, okay? If you see something that has both squares, the first thing you want to try are the squares, okay? Because a lot of times it is going to be the squares. So 3 and 3, 5 and 5. What are your signs going to be here? Both plus. Now, what did I forget here? 3k and 3k. Don't forget at the back there was a variable as well. So if you were bad like me and didn't leave space, you might have to erase. Alright, so you do have to have a variable there. Multiply these together, we'd got 15 km. Outside's another 15 km. So yes, that does work. Now, I would accept your answer written as that, or 3k plus 5m squared. Okay, the technical answer should be 3k plus 5m squared. Okay, that's the more mathematically correct way to write your answer. Just a couple more. Number 7, I would like you to, again, factor completely. 12r squared minus 16rs minus 11s squared. 12r squared minus 16rs minus 11s squared. First look for GCF. In this one there is no GCF. So you're going to figure out your factors. So we could have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Back has to be 1 and 11. So here, instead of filling in your front numbers first, you actually could fill in your back numbers because you know those are for sure. And then we need to guess. Oh, thank you. Don't forget the S's. Thank you. Do I want to pick 1 and 12, 2 and 6, or 3 and 4? 2 and 6? Okay. So 2 first or second? 2 first. So 2r and 6r. Does that work? That gives you 6rs. Remember, when you're writing these things, you always want to write them in alphabetical order. Okay, so like RS, don't write SR. Just doesn't look right. Okay, and then you want the negative to be with the bigger number, so negative goes here, positive goes there. So 2r plus 1s multiplied by 6r minus 11s. Okay, last one, and this is a bit of a word problem. So yes, you need to write it down for now on your homework. You do not have to write out all the words. Okay, if I tell you for number 8, that the volume of a rectangular solid, is 6x squared plus 22x minus 8 cubic units. Okay. If the height of the solid is 2 units, find the area of the base. Find the area of the base. So we are thinking of a cube. Okay, so a rectangular solid looks something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. Okay. Does anyone remember how do you find volume? Exactly. Volume is equal to length times width times height. So if you are given the volume, you're given the volume as 6x squared plus 22x minus 8 equals, we need to know the length and width, and we have the height, correct? We know that that's equal to 2. So how do I find the area? Area is what? The length times width. So how do I get that by itself? What would I have to do? How do I move the 2, basically? Divide by 2. Divide both sides by 2. Okay? You divide by 2, that gives you 3x squared plus 11x minus 4 is equal to the length times width, which is the area of the base. Okay, so divide by 2, and that'll give you the area of the base. Now, the second part of this question is I want you to find the possible length and width of the solid. Find the possible length and width. So if you were given the area and I need to find length times width, what is that basically telling you to do? Factor. Exactly. Okay? So you know what they're multiplied to be, so we want to factor. So I'm not actually asking you for like, the length is 4 or something like that. I'm just asking for in terms of x. So you factor this, okay? This is a leading coefficient trinomial. So in the front, it would factor to be 1 and 3. In the back, it could be 1 and 4 or 2 and 2. And I want you to factor that. Okay, what do your signs have to be? 1 of each. Okay, so you know you could put in your 1x and 3x in the front. Now, would you like to pick 1 and 4 or 2 and 2? 1 and 4. Should one go first or second? Second. So I have it like this, yeah? Okay, let's multiply this. 12x. Yes, there has to be 1 of each, and 1x. I want it to be positive in the middle. So the 12 would have to be positive. So if you follow that, that goes a plus. That one's a minus. So what are the possible lengths and widths? X plus 4 and 3x minus 1. Okay. Homework for this is going to be on worksheet 5. You are doing numbers 1 through 27. Okay, 1 through 27.